So, first of all, very good evening, Pallavi ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm safe and sound by the grace of Almighty God. Thanks for your concern.
Okay, good to hear that.
Ma'am, my first question for you is how one can keep motivated himself in order to learn things or in order to learn this language? Because I've seen many times co-learners are so excited and exuberant in their initial state, but by the time they lost their interest in order to learn this language. What are the reason behind it and how they can get the same flow again?
Okay. See, I tell you the reason why people get demotivated on the way is once they do not have a strong reason that why they are doing that thing. Once you have a strong reason that why are you learning English, you will never get demotivated. Until and unless you do not have a strong reason, you get demotivated. So always find your reason why you want to learn English. Once your reason is very strong, is very clear, then you will be doing all the best efforts to complete it. But if your reason is not clear and you just want to learn, just I want to learn because everybody is learning, I want to do for my kids PTM, many like mothers say, but they say it's okay, agar ho gaya to theek hai, then also it's fine. They have this kind of attitude also. And some have no, I really want to do, and they might feel somewhere insulted. Those mothers never stop because an incident happened with them, or suppose a person in the office, if something has happened with him, so that incident triggers him, he will never get demotivated. So always remember, whenever you are learning English, and this is not about learning English, anything you are doing in your life, always make your why clear, why you want to do that thing. So once your why is clear, your reason is clear, you will surely going to do, you will never get demotivated. Never. And if suppose you get demotivated also on the way after trying for some time, then also don't just go back, move further. What happens, suppose you have started learning English. People do like this, like many learners, they start learning English, they have reached the midway, so rather than going further, they say English is not my cup of tea. They just come back. So you should not come back, go ahead. Remember, you have already come the halfway. So not to lose hope from the halfway where you will be seeing the success. What the people are doing, they are just like leaving it. So you should be motivated and keep on doing your work. Always remember your why. Whenever you get demotivated, remember the reason why are you learning English. You will never get demotivated. Because once in your mind, you will say to your mind every time, this is my reason why I am learning English. So you will always be motivated. Once your reason is not clear, you will feel like it's okay. You will have like a chalta kind of attitude. If it's work, then also it's fine. If it doesn't work, then also it's fine.
Wow, that's really fantastic. The way you have expounded the whole concept. I'm being fascinated the way you have answered. Thank you, ma'am. Moving back to next question is how one can get rid of being judged by others, the phobia of being judged by others.
This is about mindset. Why people have this phobia about judging others is because it is fixed in their mind. What will happen if the other person will think like this? What will happen if the other person will think like this? So no need to worry. Nobody will think anything. You are the one who is just killing yourself by overthinking. Nobody thinks anything about you. See, nowadays we live in such a fast paced world that people don't have time to think about you. They themselves got stuck in their life. So remember, go with the age, like the era we are living in. People do not have time to think about yourself. So don't worry if what will happen if I will say wrong. And remember this line in your mind, that imperfections are good enough. If I am imperfect and if I am making mistake, means I am progressing in the life. And if you're not making mistakes, means you're not progressing. So anytime if you are getting this thought, what happens if I say wrong, then also it's okay if you have said wrong. That means you are progressing on the path of success. But if you're not doing any error, you are not progressing. We can take an example of Thomas Alva Edison. He knows like 9,999 ways of how not to make a bulb. So we can take his example. So if you are making mistakes, obviously I'm very sure none of the person would make this many mistakes. You would just be making mistakes 10 to 15 times. So it's okay. Don't be fearful. Just win your doubts and self-doubt and go ahead and just do the things. And moreover, what happens it is, whenever you wonder what will happen if I will speak and someone will think anything about me, first of all, if anything happens, you can simply say it was a slip of tongue, because it happens. First of all, nobody will point you. If anybody points you, you can simply say it was a slip of tongue. Just simple word. Like in Hindi also we say sometimes galti se nikal gaya tha. So similarly in English also you can say. And next thing, if you are moving and if you are self-doubting yourself while speaking, whether मैं सही बोल रही हूँ or I'm saying wrong, I don't know. So that means you are progressing. Self-doubt means that you are getting out of your comfort zone and you are progressing in your life. So whenever you have self-doubt, any learner has a self-doubt. If I'm doing right or wrong, that means you are progressing. Why? Because you're going out of your comfort zone. That's why you are like having self-doubt. And when anyone go out of the comfort zone, they always progress. So never have this. It is just fixed in your mind. It will take 2 or 3 times to come out of that hitch, that what happens if people will judge. But once you will win 2 to 3 times, you are going to win the battle. So always have positive attitude. And also I said in few of my previous videos also that when anybody gets a negative thought, don't think it for more than 18 seconds. More than 18 seconds, don't keep that thought in your mind. If you are going to keep that thought more than 18 seconds, means you are making that thought as your reality. So that's why it becomes your reality. Then at the end you say, मैंने सोचा था ना यही हो गया. Why? Because you have made it happen. So have a positive attitude in your mind and surely you can win your game. Okay?
Yeah, that's really an extraordinary answer from your side. And moving back to next question, what do you think about those two different terminologies? The one is accent, the another one is pronunciation. I want you to tell me what are the difference between these two different terminologies and which one is more important with the authentic and logical reason.
I would say pronunciation, right pronunciation is more important when you are speaking, because you should be able to pronounce a particular word very correctly. Whenever a word comes to you and you are reading it with right pronunciation, even the word, I'm saying pronunciation. Many people say pronunciation. So though it is pronounced, but the right pronunciation is pronun. It's not pro. So it doesn't goes with the spelling also. Though the spelling is Pronuncation, but we say it as pronunciation. And the other word it is Pronounce, and we call it as pronouns. We don't say it as pronounce. So right pronunciation is more important than getting into the accent. Accent is like a decoration in your speech. So that comes later, and I tell you, accent generally people get by living in that country. If you will be staying in a particular country, you will get that accent naturally. And moreover, nowadays there are so many things available online. You can just learn the way out, like how to place your tongue, lips, your mouth muscles, so you produce a particular sound. So according to me, pronunciation is more important than getting an accent.
I can see eye to eye your statement. Whatever you have stated just now about the question I've asked you, you hit nail on the head. And my next question for you is, since I started learning this language, this could be a controversial and diplomatic topic for me always. People usually say that grammar is really important in terms of spoken English. I haven't learned grammar in my entire life. I don't even know a single rule of grammar. Though I'm speaking, fine, I'm making a lot of mistakes. But what do you think about grammar? Is grammar really imperative in terms of spoken English? Or we can skip. Later on, we can work on it.
Later on we can work on it. Grammar is not at all important. See a child who is speaking English, like a 3-year child who is speaking English, he doesn't know grammar at all, still he's speaking English. How he get from his environment? So grammar is not at all important once you have to learn your spoken English. How a person can start by making sentences from the surroundings. You aren't right, I'm sitting in the room, I can say I'm sitting in this room, there is a window and I am taking the session. So start making the basic sentences. Grammar comes later. Like this is grammar method is the old method which used to work 10-12 years back. Even when I started my career, I used to first teach grammar only. But that was an old concept. With the time, everyone should keep on progressing. So nowadays there are so many ways, provided you have the right approach and the right technique, that without grammar also you can learn. What happens once a person learns, especially the non-native people, they learn grammar, they used to translate. So once while speaking you keep on translating in your head, so rather than using the correct grammar we get confused. So always try that you start learning the language without learning grammar. Grammar is important, but later also you can do that. No need to start with grammar. Start with speaking and start with basic sentences. No need to go for very deep. Start with basic sentences. Side by side also grammar can be taken into account, but not keeping the focus on grammar and wondering once I know all the grammar I can speak. So it will start with your speech only. It will not start first you learn grammar. So grammar can be learned later.
Wow, again, the way you have described everything, you didn't left a single stone unturned and made me amazed. Thank you. Now, the next question for you is, I hope you know very well there are so many ways that we can learn English. But when it comes to a tyro, I mean to say a beginner, he wants to acquire this language. What could be the best strategies for him that he can learn this language sooner or later? In fact, listening is there, reading is there, writing is there, and we have YouTube, teachers as well, online courses, institute. How one can easily understand, like this is the way, from here, I need to start. I'm damn sure if I would follow these strategies, the schedule, definitely I'm gonna reach on the level as I'm expecting from my side.
Okay, see, I tell you for a beginner, how a beginner can start. First of all, he need to do variety of things. One method will not help him, and then you will wonder, it's, again, I'm not able to get it. So you have to do variety of things. Just 5 to 10 minutes daily, 5 to 10 minutes listen some videos or on YouTube, or watch English movies, and then read something out of English 5 to 10 minutes daily. Then do some vocabulary exercises in my channel. I many times I've gave one activity, word chain activity for vocabulary. That's a fabulous activity for a beginner person. And then after that a person can do is think in English, because thinking in English is the most crucial and the foremost step. What happens if your input is Hindi, the output can't be English, but if your input is English, so output is also English. Try to make as your habit that you think in English all the time. Okay, so think in English, that really helps. Suppose a person is thinking in English, so what you have to do is, while thinking in English you're not getting the words in your mind, so what you have to do, then you can Google it. Suppose it happens with the basic things we do in our life, we do not understand ki iski English kya hogi, so it's okay, you can Google it. We can Google, like type this is English kya hogi, simply people can find. So start by thinking in English, and this is the best technique a person can follow, whether it is like the beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Thinking in English is wonderful. And one more thing adding on to it, think with your emotions. For example, a person, suppose I went for dinner, or I am very happy today, I will say in Hindi, आज तो मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, आज तो मैं dinner पे गई, wow, मजा आ गया. But if I have to say the same thing in English, so I say today I went for dinner and I am very happy. No expression, just state. So you have to add your emotions with English. Once you will add your emotions with English, like your body language, your facial expressions, that plays a very important role. So add your emotions and add your body language with it. Also 93% is the role of your body language, facial expressions and hand gestures, and 7% is only what you are learning at the moment. That is your grammar, your way of speaking and all this stuff. So remember 93% you should work on these things, and this is not my like research, this you can even search right after a session also, that 93% is the role of the body language, the way you are expressing the thought. So that really needs to be worked on. So these are like few things accumulated a beginner can start with and keep on doing for at least 6 to 7 months. Don't wonder like doing it for 1 month will be giving you the result. Okay, so these are the
Wow,
things
you
you
have
can do.
answered. That's really marvelous and fabulous. Quite organized and structured. And
Yeah.
so now, what do you think about fluency? What is fluency for you? To whom you consider like he or she is a fluent speaker? What are the
See,
basic parameter
fluency,
you have
yeah,
in your mind?
I'm coming to that. Fluency means you're able to articulate your thought word by word and that too very clearly. There are many people who just speeden up their process of speaking. But if it is not understood by the other person, it's of no use. I always say some people they ask me, ma'am, how to learn so good vocabulary and how to be fluent. I say it comes with practice. Never focus on being fluent. Fluency comes only with practice. For me, fluency means that you are able to express your thoughts well. But if you are not able to express your thoughts well and you keep on speaking, but the other person can't understand, it's of no use. So fluency comes with practice. Just start. Important thing is when you are speaking up, the other person can understand you well. Why I am speaking? Because you are listening. Why you are speaking? Because I am listening. So we do not speak for ourselves. We speak for the other person. So fluency comes with practice. And even recently, I tell you, 2 3 days back only uploaded my video of 2016, and even I was getting a bit nervous while speaking. I just find it on my mobile and I thought of posting. So it happens, everyone is the same, every trainer is once a beginner. I gave this as the heading also. So everyone is a beginner at one step. Don't compare your 0 step with somebody's 10 step. This is the biggest problem a person does. What happens with fluencies, people are comparing their 0 or 1 or 2 step with the other person 10 step. If suppose you are in grade 4, can you do the question of grade 10? No, you can't. But if you are in grade 10, you can easily do the question of grade 4. So always remember that fluency comes with practice, and don't compare yourself. Don't compare your chapter 4 with the chapter 10 of somebody. Then you will only get demotivated or de-stressed. Compare yourself with your past self. Suppose what you are today, compare yourself with what you were the last day. This is the best comparison a person can do.
Wow, that's really great. You have shared your deep insight about it, and you actually relate with yourself. The video you have uploaded, like teacher was a beginner at his or
Yeah,
her initial
this was
stage.
I
I
saw my
was that video.
by chance on my phone on 2016.
Yes, that's great. And as we all are Indians, and we have around 27 states, and we have so many languages, like depending on their region, and we have so many dialects as well. There's one thing that something pop up in my mind, MTI, mother tongue influence. So how one can mitigate his mother tongue influence and improvise his pronunciation to that extent where he would sound like a neutral English speaker.
See, for neutralization of accent, one should take proper training and guidance, because otherwise it's not going to work. Just by watching YouTube videos is you are just aimlessly working on yourself, and at the end you say, "जैसे है वैसे ही ठीक है." This kind of attitude you're only going to get. It, first of all, one should keep in the head, it takes around 1 to 1.5 years to get rid of it. I won't say it's impossible, it is possible. I made many learners get rid of MTI issue. I'm also into speech therapy, so there are some mouth muscle exercises a person can practice, and there is nothing to feel awkward or that why we have this accent. It's okay, you get it from your mother language, so one can neutralize it. And especially the problem areas are S, SH, F, V, and Z, and SH. These like 7 8 sounds which are the problem areas that a person faces while practicing and while speaking. So let me give you two exercises out from there, so anyone watching it can actually get help out of it. First of all, one must open the full mouth. This is for all the learners who have MTI. Open your full mouth and start doing like this. Ah, and do it alone so the people won't say that you have gone mad. So this will open up the mouth muscles. Okay, daily doing it for 1 year, for at least continuously for at least 1 to 2 minutes. Not doing like this, it's wrong. Continuously. Okay, you know, I still remember once I've told this exercise to one of my students from China, 2017, and she said I was doing at home, you know, Chinese, they speak with their nose. And she said, my neighbors, they come and they wonder I have gone mad. So I will now not do it again. I said, you do it alone, you know, because I asked her, you shout as much as you can. Because when she speaks up, she used to close her mouth. Even she visited my house as well. So you should open your mouth and practice. That's what I'm doing, saying practice alone. So this opens up the mouth muscles. This is like a speech exercise, speech therapy exercise. Next, it is for S sound, wherever S comes in, like sun. So how you have to say, join your teeth and do the vibration, like the phone vibrates. So sun, sun, like same. Many people rather than same, they say shame. So same. So S they say as SH and SH they say as S. And for the next one, English, like many people say English. So English. SH sound, you should like the way we say quiet or finger on the lip. So English, that kind of a sound. So two exercises, especially for S and SH. Wherever S comes in, join your teeth and vibrate like your phone vibrates, and daily practice without the words also. And for SH, it is like finger on the lips, like shh, shh. So English, like motivation. They say motivation. So motivation. Go slow. If you want to improve your accent or neutralize it, then you have to come to the speed of a cycle, not with the speed of an aeroplane one can improve. Many people, they believe in going very fast, so that is not going to help. For it, proper guidance and right approach is the only one that helps, and it actually it can be curable. Like some people, they wonder like what we do, because it sometimes feel a bit insulting also. So it's natural, like nowadays we are just going so fast. So one can improve provided you have the right approach and guidance, and moreover patience to do it for 1 year at least. So this is
Wow,
how a person
absolutely
can improve.
amazing. Yeah, like I'm feeling I'm listening to a podcaster, whereas I'm asking question to him, or he's replying in such a manner like already the answer has fitted in his mind and everything. Wow. Okay, so my next question for you is, how many vocabularies are required in order to speak English fluently, and how one can improve his vocabs, improvements, enhance his vocabs?
Okay. See, I tell you, all the English that we speak in our whole life, only 1,000 words are enough. 1,000 words are more than enough for you to speak English very well. And out of those, you learn 80 fancy vocabulary words that a person can feel that your vocabulary is good enough. That's it. Nothing more a person requires. 1000 words in total, and I am very sure anybody, those who wants to learn English, they already know 1000 words. The problem is they are not ready to prepare. They are not like already prepared that yes, we can use those words. I always say knowledge has no power. All the things I am speaking over here, everybody knows who is watching. They know lot many things, more than that also. But knowledge has no power, execution has the power. You know everything, but you are not doing it, so it has no power. So execution has the power. Everybody knows if we will learn few words, we should use them and then we can improve the vocabulary. But still people are not doing it. So knowledge has no power, execution has the power. So daily learning 1 to 2 words is okay. And even if you do not find 1 to 2 words, suppose you're watching an English podcast, you're watching an English movie, take a word from there and learn it. And moreover, vocabulary words, fancy vocabulary words are not at all required even to speak good. I never use very like high-fi vocabulary words, because important is that the important of communication is that your message is conveyed well. This is the purpose. So I always focus that my message is conveyed well. So that is important thing. And everybody whosoever is listening, they surely know 1000 words. So start practicing and start using it from today. And surely you can speak up. You just need to have that courage 1 or 2 times and you can just change your game. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Again, you have explained everything in a very disciplined manner, and being excited to hear every single answer from your side. Let me throw my last item on you so that we can wind up the session.
Yeah,
I,
sure.
I hope you must heard about technology articulation. So, what do you understand by articulation? And if one wants to be articulated, how he can develop that articulation in his spoken English?
Okay. Articulation means that you are good in expressing your ideas. This is the simple words. Articulation means you can express your ideas very well. This is the meaning of articulation in a layman language. Articulation means expressing your ideas and your thoughts clearly. So whatever way you can do will work. So the important thing is it doesn't mean to use fancy vocabulary words. It doesn't mean you use wonderful and all the tough sentence structure. It means that your message is conveyed very well. So if my message is conveyed very well and if all of you can understand me well, that means I'm able to articulate myself well. And if you are speaking something and the person in front of you understands you well, even without using fancy vocabulary, without using fancy sentence structure, that means you are able to articulate yourself well. And everyone in India, we know how to articulate ourselves well. So we should have the confidence, only confidence. Remember, English is just a language. It has nothing to do with your pleasing personality. So don't make it just like a mole out of mountain. It is just a language and each one of you can do it, provided you have the courage to start and you know the reason why you are doing. Once you are very sure of the reason, you will always be doing it very well. But once you are not sure of the reason, you will always find tons of excuses of not doing it and finding the reasons like this is the thing because of which I'm not able to. So you should start doing it. You know everything. In India, every person knows how to articulate well. Because we can even articulate very well in our mother language. We are the best people in the whole world to explain our thoughts. So everyone can articulate very well, provided you have the courage and the belief. You believe that in English, I don't know how to articulate. So articulate means expressing your ideas clearly. That's it. And you are able to express.
Wow, really, I'm feeling so overwhelmed and mesmerized. The way you have answered my all the questions seems to be that you got a dream last night that Shiv is going to talk with me and he's going to ask all these questions you have prepared for throughout the day. Every single point is not less than a diamond, which I want to store in my locker so that no one can steal it.
Thank you so
And
much.
yeah, and for today, I'm done. For sure, I do have a lot of things on my plate that I want to serve, but some other day, definitely we are going to talk about some other topics pertaining to this language, English only.
Yeah, sure. Okay, it was lovely connecting with you.
Thanks, ma'am. It was really nice and remarkable conversation with you. It was really a fruitful and constructive session for me always. So thank you for giving your precious time and connecting with you. So keep enlightening us with this vast knowledge and experience as